So we have a resource person with us, Honorable Dr. Sanjay Malpani ji, who is one of the Vice President of World Yogasana, and also he is the President of Asian Yogasana. The Asian body of this is leading under his flagship and leadership, and also he is a Vice President of Yogasana Bharat. And we are very delighted to tell you that the code of point, the rule book on which we are having this coaches training program, foundation course, the whole book, the writer and the creator of this rule book, in which Dr. Sanjay Malpani sir have given very much great efforts. And you can see under his chairmanship, we have prepared this code of point book, and we are very happy so that he is over here to guide us and tell you much more in depth and in detail and different aspects which are required for the coaches. So we request you, sir, to please continue with your session and hand it over the dais to your good self, sir. Over to you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Shreyas ji. Let us do the prayer first, and then we start our exercise. Then we start our program today. Please sit erect and then close your eyes gently and take a deep breath, and then join your hands and surrender. That is Ishvara Paridhan. You just listen to the prayer. Yogesham Satchidanandam Vasudevam Vrajapriyam Sarvat Dharmatmakam Veeram Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Take a deep breath and then gently open your eyes. Namaste to everybody. I'm really happy today to be with all of you. And just a minute, let me start my PowerPoint presentation. Today we are going to discuss about how to set the studio, the Yogasana studio. So whether my presentation is visible to you?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Yeah, right. Okay. So let us talk about how to set up the Yogasana studio. You all must be knowing that we have a wonderful setup of yoga studio in our school, and the most brilliant athletes of Yogasana sport, they come to our school for advanced training of Yogasana sport. And that is one reason we work day and night with these athletes. They practice for 6 hours a day, and they keep on doing hard work so that they can get prizes in different competitions. This is happening since last many years because our school is known for Yogasana sport, and we have wonderful studio there. But when we go for a studio, any coach, when they wish to start the Yogasana studio in their town, what are the things, what are the aspects they must look into? That we will have a brief idea about this, and then we will also talk about the financials and the advertisement and promotional activities of our yoga studio. So let us start with that. See, one fear is always there in minds of coaches, that whether shall I start my own yoga studio or not. If you go in a right direction, you will see that yoga studio is a beautiful and profitable business, and you can earn huge amount of money out of it. So instead of doing job somewhere, we must think of starting our own yoga studio. Even if you are working in some organization, and if you want a fixed income out of your salary, then also you can at least have 2 hours. And I'm going to talk about these 2 hours only, that if you work for 2 hours in addition to the job which you are doing, and if you start up with your own yoga studio, what kind of amount you are going to earn in a year? It's huge amount. Just by working for 2 hours, you can do wonders. So let us see what are all the requisites for doing this beautiful business. And the thing starts with the place. You must choose a place in a right location, and that is very, very important. So setting up a yoga studio requires a thoughtful approach to ensure it provides an inviting and conducive environment for practice. So here are more detailed breakdown of your points, that how do we do that. So what kind of physical facilities you must provide, and how you choose the location of your studio, this is very important. So selecting area, if you want to get more amount of money from your elite customers, you must have this yoga studio in vicinity of your town, that too in A-class residential area, and better not to keep on highways where horns can disturb your class. So you have to divide your town in 3 different areas. Some are A-class residential areas, some are B-class residential area, and some are C-class residential areas. You must see that your studio must be in A-class area, so that people give you enough amount of money for 1 hour, because their spending capacity, their purchasing power is more, and you get elite customers, so that you can get more earnings. I recommend that yoga class, when you run for 3 days a week, that time you have to charge rupees 3,000 in Indian rupees. Now you can convert it into according to your country, but for India, the thumb rule which we follow is 3,000 rupees, that is 1,000 rupees per day is the charge which we charge to the people. Now you might say that no, we don't have that kind of customer in our town. It is never so. How you pose, how you project your class, your studio, in that way you are going to ₹1,000 a month, then you will get that kind of students. But when you think that yes, I want 1,000 rupees per day per day, that is 3 days a week for a month, 3,000 rupees I must get, then you get that kind of customers. Things happen twice. Once it happens in your mind, and then secondly, it happens in actual. So dream big. Never look at a small dream, and earn good amount of money so that you can flourish, you can go ahead, and you have enough amount of money to take care of your family and to grow in this field of Yogasana sports. So always think big, never think with a small thing. So when you choose a place, a rental place for yourself, see, gradually you will be having your own place, but in the beginning you need to hire a place, you need to rent, you need to get a place on rent. So it is always better that you must have it on ground floor. Avoid your class in a basement, because basements do not have windows. Basements do not have enough amount of ventilation. Basements do not have enough amount of natural light, and that enhances your cost, and at the same time that reduces the capacity to work in the work physically for your customers, for your students. It becomes difficult. So there must be enough amount of windows, and for that reason you must avoid basements. Prefer a pillar-less hall. If there are so many obstacles in the hall, then you won't be able to conduct a class of about 40 students. I consider the class is good with 40 students, not more than that. And if less than that, then financially it becomes difficult. So you should have a place where you can accommodate minimum 40 players. Now, if you want to have a place for 40 students, how many square feet of hall you will be requiring? So each student requires around 7 by 3 feet place to do Yogasana. So this place needed, and the place needed for coach to walk. So accordingly, when we say that one student requires 21 square feet area, then approximately 40 students into 21 square feet, that comes to 840 square feet. So approximately 750 to 1000 square feet hall is required, and that is good to start the studio. Now you require parking area. So never hire a place where parking is an issue, because otherwise you will get so many trouble afterwards. So when you choose a place, always see that there is some place to park cars, at least 20 to 25 two-wheelers and 5 to 8 four-wheelers. In India, if you have the place in vicinity of town, then most of the people, they come on their two-wheelers. But in your country, you need to see that what kind of vehicle is used by your students. Then you must have that kind of parking area available next to your studio. This is very important. Now, inside the studio, what are all the things which you will be requiring? Let us have a look at it. Generally, you need a drinking water facility. Now, cooler is not mandatory, because for Yogasana, room temperature water is always preferred. But coolers like this of stainless steel are easy to wash. They are very clean, and the hygiene can be maintained. That is the reason why I have shown here a stainless steel cooler and a capacity of 20 liter per hour RO. If you require to fix an RO in some countries, you don't require it. But in India, we require the filtration machine for clear and pure drinking water. So that RO is shown here, and you have to have one-time use, that is use and throw kind of paper glasses or washable glasses to be kept near drinking water facility. This place should be odorless. This is very, very important. If the toilets are very nearby, or some drainage is going from nearby area, or some garbage kind of point is next to your studio, and if the dirt and the smell is coming to your studio, that makes the place unhygienic. So you have to see that this public dustbins or STP plants should not be very near to your studio. Open gutters or public toilets on floor can create bad odor. So you have to be careful about choosing a place where these kind of things are not nearby. But at the same time, you have to see that toilets must be available. Separate washrooms for gents and ladies must be there. Regular cleaning of the toilets is must. Before you start your class, you must have a supervision that whether your toilets are cleaned or not. WC, urinals, basin are must, hand wash, soap dispenser to be kept there, dustbins to be placed in the toilets. These are the very important things to keep the environment clean. Now, if you have an adjoining ground, that gives you additional benefit, because we generally ask our students to have at least 400-meter run before they start their workout. This itself gives them warming up to their body, and then the warming up, especially because we do it for sports yogasana, where in sports yogasana, minimum 20-25 to 30 minutes warming up is required, because you are doing extremely hard yogasanas, extreme back bends and forward bends, extreme handstands and leg balances. For that, you need enough amount of warming up. So if you have a nearby ground, if you are running a studio for specially dedicated for sports yogasana, and you are having that kind of students, then you must see that there is a place where they can have this kind of warming up. Well ventilated and enough windows are must, and you will be able to see our hall, the school hall, where we have enough number of windows, and then on the top of that, the ventilation fans are available even at the roof. Now, this is a very important thing, that there must be a stage. For a small class, 10 by 5 feet stage is enough. If you can have that stage with 1.5 feet height, that is also enough for a strength of 40 students. If you are having more number of students, then the height of the stage should be 2 feet. But for 40 students, 1.5 feet is enough, so that you can demonstrate the yogasanas on the stage. If you don't have a permanent kind of stage available in the hall, you can do it with plywoods and basic furniture. You can easily do this 5 by 10 feet stage, and then you can put one mat on it, so that it becomes easy for your students to see the demonstration and then do accordingly. Good light is also essential. Sometimes, especially in rainy season, when the outside light is less, that time LED lights can be placed in the classes in the yoga studio, because sometime you have early morning classes or late evening classes. In that, these LED lights are important because they are not harsh, and when your students, they do yoga doing sleeping on their back, that time they encounter to the lights on the ceiling. So that time the diffused lights are smoothing, and you have to take care that your lights in the studio are enough. Changing rooms are preferable, because generally they come from work and then they change and then they come to your studio. So enough number of hooks and shelves can be placed to keep the clothes. You must have a storeroom where your studio is placed, because keeping all the equipments and material in the yoga hall makes that yoga hall a bit crowded. So you need to keep your props in the storeroom, and whenever required, you can bring those props inside. A storeroom can ensure the safety of the valuable props. One cabin is very essential, one administrative cabin or counseling cabin, where you can talk to your students, your customers in person, and you can guide them, or at the time of entry, they can come for the registration or the when they come for the admission, that time you can have one person sitting there, and he or she can entertain the customers. Waiting area, when you have more classes back to back, then some people, those who reach 5-10 minutes early, then they should have some place to sit outside. Otherwise, it becomes a very difficult part for them to stand outside and to keep on waiting. So waiting area, a very clean and attractive waiting area is very essential, where you can place notice boards, you can keep some magazines there which are related to Yogasana, some good books, so they can come and read the books in the waiting area. A janitor room is also preferred, because all these things, the cleaning equipments, you can keep in the janitor room. So always store cleaning equipments like brooms or mops in the separate place, and especially the cleaning liquid and all these things you can keep there, so that they do not look bad in the toilets. You must have a sound system. This is very advanced sound system, but you can have a basic sound system at least, with a wire-free, wireless mic, so that even while walking in the classroom, you can carry the mic with you, and that is very good for giving the instructions. And sometime, especially when we have some demonstrations like artistic yogasana, rhythmic yogasana, group yogasana, that time some music can be played on this system. And even while running the yoga class, in the beginning and at the end, if you put, especially while doing shavasana, at the end of the session, a smoothing music always help you to do better yogasana, and that is better shavasana. This shavasana is very, very important. At the end of the session, everybody must do 5-7 minutes shavasana. Otherwise, the cooling down do not happen, and then they keep on sweating for hours together. So this music really helps them to do shavasana in a better way. If you have mirrors in the studio, the full length mirrors on one side, don't put it on all the sides. So on one side, if you put it, then the participants can see themselves in the mirror, and then they feel encouraged that every day their practice is becoming better and better. So ensure that the mirror placement do not cause distraction or unnecessary self consciousness. So on one side, these mirrors are preferred. Look at these bars. I think you must have attended the session by Mr. Vishnu Chakravarti, who is the HOD of Dhruv Global Schools Yoga Studio. And he must have shown you all the equipments and the props which we do use for Yogasana training. So these wall bars are very interesting. These wall bars gives a lot of help to the students for back bend, for leg spread, and all these things. Some photographs can be placed in the studio, some paintings that can create the better environment, and these kind of photographs that your students are doing yogasana and the extreme postures, that encourages the other students that if they can do it, we can also do it, and then they try harder to reach to that posture. Curtains are also important, because sometimes the direct light, sunlight comes inside, and that distracts the athletes, that distracts the customers, the students. So smoothing curtains are very, very important. And smoothing colors of the studio. See, you have to spend something on creating this environment, and don't start the studio in a very basic hall. You must have good color, good lights, good curtains, good mats, and you should display few things so that your customers feel that you are a professional yoga coach, and they feel happy to come to your studio. They are also ready to pay little more than other yoga studios when you have this kind of environment. Some green plants add on the smoothness to your studio. A meditational focal point. This is also recommended, and before they start their Yogasana, and when they end their Yogasana, they do little bit of meditation, and this kind of focal points can help them. Outside the yoga hall, you must have a shoe rack so that they can keep their shoes properly, colorful mats. See, the bars are used to keep their mats, and this becomes very easy for them to come and pick up their mat and start Yogasana on it. Some tables, chairs, some cupboards, pigeonhole racks, first aid box, fire extinguishers. These are the few necessities in your yoga hall. Then notice boards, suggestion box, and wall clock. These are also very important to be in the to keep in the yoga hall. So this helps our customers to give some suggestions. Some props you have already studied, so I am not going to talk much about these props, but you can have bricks, balusters, balls, yoga wheels, wooden backbend benches and flat benches. All these things can be used. Yoga Iyengar chair, crash mats, then waist support, therabands, ankle weight, yoga belts, knee supporters. These are the things, and you can see the silk hanging in the hall. This also helps for backbending postures. This is really interesting. Now, when you have this kind of yoga hall, you need to have some outreach activities of your Yogasana coaching class. Here at our school, what we do is we are working in this field since last many years. So we have connection with college and schools around us, and we keep on going there once a year, especially at the time of International Yoga Day. And we have a syllabus for basic syllabus for schools. We teach that syllabus to the physical education teacher of that school, and then we give certificates to all the students, those who perform well in that International Yoga Day demonstration. So this kind of activities can be done. Free introductory sessions, you can offer free or discounted trials, allow people to experience the benefits of yoga firsthand. Then workshops and seminars, you can conduct specialized workshops on topics like stress management, mindfulness, or yoga for specific groups, that is beginners, seniors, prenatal. We have one yoga hall here which is catering to 6 different kind of people having back pain, having obesity, then having knee pain, general health, especially for pregnant ladies. So we have different kind of sessions available in that another hall. Then community classes. You can organize outdoor or public yoga sessions in parks, community centers, or local events to introduce yoga to a wider audience. You can collaborate with different businesses, and you can partner with local businesses to offer workplace yoga sessions or wellness program for employees. Nowadays, most of the IT firms, they are doing this activity, and that is really helping them a lot. They spend some time. They ask their employees to go in the hall or on the terrace and do this, and then we can promote our yoga class in that meeting. You can you need to have online presence. You maintain your activities on active social media profiles to share yoga tips, tutorials, and inspirational content that resonate with your targeted audience. Sometime you have to boost the post so that it reaches to your town and you get more viewers to your social media. Open house events, you can host open house events to showcase studio, meet the instructor, and answer questions for potential students. You can have referral programs, and for that implement a referral discount for current students who bring in new enrollments, encouraging word of mouth promotion. I tell you, word of mouth is the most important advertisement for yoga classes. You do whatever social networking, you do whatever advertisements in newspapers or local TV channels, that will not help you more than the mouth publicity. So if your students become vocal, you can reach in your local areas very fast, and you get more number of students to your studio. You can have partnership with health practitioner. You can partner with doctors, therapists, and wellness professionals to promote yoga as a complementary therapy. especially with orthopedic people having, especially for back pain and knee pain. Yoga is very, very important. With psychiatrists, you can tie up with them, and on psychiatry issues, yoga is really playing a wonderful role. So you can approach these kind of doctors and you can tell them that you can send your patients to our studio. Some charity or community initiatives. I tell you, we have activity where we go to different schools. This year, we have gone to 301 odd schools around our place, and more than 25,000 students were trained for 21 days. And 2 or 3 people were wandering in their schools and giving sessions, correcting students. Rest of the things were taken care by the physical education teacher of their own schools. And then we used to get all the photographs every day. We used to put it on our social media that look at these students, they are doing yoga. And then we have a program called Yoga Sopan, where that is available on Facebook as well. Yoga Sopan, we have some videos, we have some music. Basic 16 yogasanas are taught to these school students, and when we go to evaluate them, that time we get best flexible students from these schools, and then we meet their parents and we tell them that send your child to our yoga class, and he or she can definitely get a prize if they practice for 1 or 2 years. And this is the way how we get best students to our class. Then we can organize yoga challenges online or in studio yoga challenges that encourages participants to practice regularly, and they share their experiences and their postures on their own social media. You can arrange some guest lectures, then loyalty programs. Those who come regularly to your class, you can give them some discount and enhance their engagement and commitment to your class. Local advertisements you can do with local newspaper. Don't go for advertisements, it is costly affair, but instead of that, if you write down some article, and if the article gets published in your local newspaper, that gives you adequate publicity. Promotional events like create special programs during festive seasons or holidays to attract new students looking for unique wellness experience, and develop blog posts and then videos or podcasts that educate your audience about the philosophy, benefits, and different styles of yoga. So these are the things which really will help you a lot. Then you can organize yoga competitions, school, college activities, organize events like International Yoga Day, yoga demonstration in on different occasions. Your own students can go to some other place and showcase the yoga demonstration. This really helps. These promotional activities and marketing ideas will help you a lot. You can use your social media, create your engaging post and share your tips. Your website should be attractive, user-friendly, and informative, and about your class, instructor, schedules, and testimonials. You can write many things like blogs and some write-ups and valuable contents related to yoga and wellness. Online workshops also help, and collaborations. See, this online is very important nowadays. Since you are experiencing this online program, and we are teaching you here online, in the same way, every coach must have 1 or 2 online classes, and that gives you really good publicity worldwide. You can have students from different countries in your online class, so that really helps you. And you can partner with local health and wellness business to cross promote each other's services. This could include joint events, shared social media posts, or discounts for each other's customers. So these kind of things can help you. You can have referral programs, then create your short yoga tutorial videos, 30 seconds. You must be watching all these videos on your social media as reels, and how attractive they are, and they keep on catching people. Email marketing is very important. You can save all the emails which keeps on coming to you, and then you can promote your class on those email IDs. Local community engagement, participate in local events, health fairs, or community gatherings to introduce yourself and your class, distribute flyers, offer short demos, and loyalty rewards. This will really help you a lot. Google ads are very important nowadays. You can target your customer in that particular town around yourself in 1 kilometer periphery or 5 kilometer periphery, and these advertisements can be posted to the people, those who are in your vicinity. So you can use keywords related to yoga and fitness class in your area. This really helps a lot to reach to nearby people, and especially those who are health conscious. And if you go to Google ad tutorial, you will be able to find out that how these ads can be created and boosted, and how they can reach to the targeted customer. Then free introductory classes you can offer, and testimonials and reviews can be published. Local advertisements can be done with posters, flyers, business cards in local gyms, community centers, cafes, and wellness related businesses. Corporate wellness programs reach out to local businesses to offer on-site yoga classes. Here at Sangamner, where we are working, our town is really very, very small, and we have a population of around 150,000 people. But here in all the banks we go, here in all the hospitals we go, and we meet people there, we give our information to these people, we take permission, and we do this kind of advertisements. Corporate wellness programs are very important. Even now, nowadays, corporate people, they want their employees to attend the yoga classes so that their efficiency enhances. So they can focus more, they can concentrate more on their work, and the employers can get more results from the same employee if that employee is doing yoga. When we go to these kind of business firms, we tell them that these are the benefits. If you give half an hour for this program in your workplace, or if you promote, if you send your people, and if you give 50% fees from your side, they will get benefited, and ultimately your firm will be benefited, because you will get more focused people in your workplace. Press releases, you must keep on giving news about your activities, and in the magazines and newspapers, in online publications, about the launch of your yoga coaching class. So these are the things which are really important to set up a studio and to start the advertisement and to work on it. So I have explained you these things in a very short way, because I have to also tell you about the financials. If you have some questions, you can definitely ask some questions, and then we proceed to the next part of it. You can raise your hands and talk about it. You can add on. You can tell your experience as well, which can benefit to other people. So you can just raise your hand so that you will be unmuted, and you will be able to ask questions. Radha Joshi ma'am, you can unmute yourself. Radha Joshi ma'am, yeah.
गुड इवनिंग
now-
सर. गुड इवनिंग
Good
सर.
evening.
सर एक क्वेश्चन है कि सर जैसे हमें अपना क्लास का रजिस्ट्रेशन कराना हो, कि हम ऑर्गेनाइज तरीके से अपना क्लास रजिस्ट्रेशन कराएं और जो बच्चे अच्छा कर रहे हैं उन्हें सर्टिफिकेट दे सकें ताकि क्लास का ग्रोथ और अच्छा हो सके, तो हमें किससे मिलना चाहिए और कैसे उससे करना चाहिए सर?
See, to run a class, you need to register it with your local municipal authority, and that is called a Shop Act. Shop Act in India, it is called Shop Act. In other countries, I don't know what is the formality, but you must register your business of your class with the local authority, and you must get the Shop Act. First thing. Second thing is, especially the Ministry of Ayush, they are running some classes for teachers training, and they have certificate programs. Even this Yogasana Bharat and World Yogasana, they're also offering you these kind of certificates. So you can advertise yourself that you are certified coach of these organizations, and then when your class is registered, then you can definitely give your own certificate to the students or those who are participating in schools and other activities. So that way you can do it. Jairam Thakur sir, please, you can unmute yourself.
नमस्कार सर, ओम प्रणाम।
Namaste.
पहले तो मैं महाराष्ट्र में रहा था 6 साल पतंजलि के प्लांट पे नेवासा। One time I heard that Swamiji has come to your place, but unfortunately I could not visit. For that I apologize. I was with the dairy plant, and now I have been given the assignment of to develop Yogasana spots to whole Africa. Jaideep ji has given, Swamiji has given through Jaideep ji, and I have started because I was in Africa for 17 years, starting from 99 to 2016, and thereafter I was with Patanjali. Here just
Thank you very much, Thakur sir, for this information. Let us focus on the questions now.
question. No, I'm coming. Just no other question. It is very informative teaching I have seen. First point, can we get a video of the studio at your place, Sangamner? That is
fine. I will try for it. And in fact, we have already done the workshop of how to use the props in the studio itself. And Mr. Chakravarti sir, Vishnu Chakravarti sir, already given you that lecture.
Yes,
that
yes, I attended that.
Able
yes,
to see the studio there in the video.
I have seen,
and the program which you referred just now, let me tell to the audience here that when Swami Shraddheya Yogarshi Swami Ramdevji Maharaj came to our place, that time we were running this program in different schools, and 35,000 students, they gathered at one place and they have done the musical Yogasana for 12 minutes. Swamiji was very much impressed. And then when we asked Swamiji that, Swamiji, these children also want to see you, the way you have done musical Yogasana with the Ranveer Kapoor. So Swamiji immediately asked us that, do you have the song? And it was ready. And with on that same song, Swamiji has done Yogasana, musical Yogasana. People, I mean, children got crazy. Everybody stood up. And it was such a wonderful thing. And we got blessings of Swamiji here. And that is the reason we are flourishing further and further. So thank you very much for this beautiful information. Now let us go to Sudhakar ji from Uganda. You can unmute yourself and ask question.
Namaskar, Sanjay sir. Very informative session, and I just want to ask only one question and refer to your subject content today, where it was declared, and I was waiting for that budget and accounting for the yoga studio. So for the kind of studio that you have been ideally suggesting, can you please give us a very rough estimate of the initial cost and the recurring expenses per month?
Yes, I'm coming to that point. So let us start with that session now, because there are no other questions. So let me share my screen and let me tell you that how it works. So is my another PPTs visible to you all? Business plan for Yogasana Studio, right? Yeah. Now the figures here are imaginary figure. Don't take it that this is going to happen exactly like this. It all depends on the place where you are working, and I am just giving you a rough idea, and that is all in the value of Indian rupees. So you need to convert it into your currency. The first thing. Second thing is you need to see that what are the rates prevailing in your area. So I'm just giving you some broad outlines that how it's going to happen. So now this is a very important formality which you must do, that you should have an application form for admission to Yogasana class. And the bottom line, which is very important, that if anything wrong happens in the Yogasana class or the practice, you are responsible for it. The practitioner is responsible for it, so that nobody can sue you. That is very, very important. This admission form must be filled up by everybody who is coming to your yoga class. Now, you can do yoga business in India in 4 different ways. You can have a proprietary concern, you can have a partnership firm. If 2 or more yoga teachers are joining together, you can have that partnership firm. You can have a limited liability partnership or private limited company. These are the 4 ways how you can do this. Now, governing acts and required promoters for proprietary concern, it is not governed by any law here in India. One promoter is enough, and you can have a shop act license and start your business. But for partnership firm, it's governed by Indian Partnership Act 1932, and you can have 2 to 20 partners in one firm. Then you can have limited liability partnership firm, which is governed by Limited Liability Partnership Act 2008, and promoters required are 2 to 20. If you have private limited company, then that is governed by the Companies Act 2013, and promoters can be from 2 to 50. So looking at the size of your own studio, you can start with proprietary concern, and if you are going on adding some studios, then you can also shift to partnership firm. These are all the statutory requirements for different kind of concerns. You can see proprietary concern, partnership firm, limited liabilities partnership, and private limited company. So your suitable name for business, see, select a name which can last long. So this is very important. Don't start with your own name or something like that. It should be crispy, it should be attractive, and you can have that name first. Then permanent account number, that is PAN card, you must have. Then the tax collection account number, that is TAN card, you should have. Then shop act or Udyog Aadhaar is required for proprietary concern only. Then for partnership deed, you can have you should have partnership firm. If you have partnership firm, then you must have a partnership deed that can be prepared by your local chartered accountant. Registration with registrar of firm is required in case of partnership firm. Registration with ROC, that is registrar of company, is required in case of limited liability partnership or private limited company. Then bank account is mandatory. Then your own premises or rented premises must. GST registration is required if turnover of service is about 20 lakhs in India. Trademark registration is very important. Otherwise, you start promoting your own class and somebody start with the same name. So you should have a trademark registration, and photograph of promoter is required in all these cases. Then documents for accounting. Remember, generally I have seen that yoga coaches are not very much concerned about their accounting. Unless you have good accounting policy, unless you spare some time and energy on accounting your business, then only you can grow. Otherwise, you will not be able to understand that what is exactly happening with the money which is coming in and money which is going out. Treat your business as a separate entity and treat yourself as a separate entity. Even if it is a proprietary, treat yourself as a separate entity. Then only you will be able to have, you should have another bank account for your proprietary firm. After 2 or 3 years, if your balance sheet is good, then you are eligible to get good amount of loan from your local banks. If your balance sheet of your proprietary firm or partnership firm or your company or limited liability partnership, you must start with this. Pay little bit of tax. Don't hesitate to pay tax. This is very important to get loans in future. So your invoice, your bank slip book, your checkbook, your receipt, payment voucher, these are the things which are really important. Then daily cash book, bank book, membership register, asset register, and ledger. These are the very, very important things which you need to maintain in all the firms which you work in. Financial documents, you need trial balance, profit and loss account, balance sheet, tax audit report. For all these firms, you need taxation. You always pay some amount of tax, because that enhances the credibility of your balance sheet and credibility of your business for banks. If you want to apply for loan to purchase your own place or hall in future, you need to have your own balance sheet of your proprietary of your partnership or whatsoever. So I have just 5 minutes left. I don't know how I will complete. GST returns are must, professional tax returns, annual submission of ROC in case of LLP and private limited companies. Now I tell you about the investment for a studio. Approximately 7,30,000 rupees are required. Rental hall deposit, which is refundable, that is 1,80,000 rupees. Props at studio, that is chair, bricks, bar, belts, etc. You should have a budget of at least 2 lakh rupees. Then interior decoration, repairing, drinking water, RO machine, camera, laptop, printer, stationery material, etc. You should have 3 lakh rupees budget, and other miscellaneous like registration or any other expenses, you should have 50,000 rupees. So altogether, you need 7,30,000 rupees to establish a good quality of yoga studio in a rental place. Now, this is the income and expenditure broad line for 1 year. You can see this is annual income and expenditure broad line. So salary, if you appoint one person as a head coach, you need to give them 20,000 rupees here in India. For 12 months, it is 2,40,000 rupees. Assistant coach, 15,000 into 12, that goes to 8. I am telling you only for 2 hours. It is not for 8 hours. This is only for 2 hours. If on right side, if you see that you have 80 students and they are paying 2,000 rupees monthly, I am talking about only 2,000 rupees monthly. If you can get more fees, that will be more profit. So if you have 80 students, then monthly fees you collect, and accordingly yearly fees you collect is 19,20,000 rupees from 80 students, 2 batches of 40 each. And then you should have at least 2 batches of online classes, morning and evening batch. So there you get 100 students and 1,000 rupees for them monthly fee. You get 1,20,000, 12 lakh rupees. Just a minute. What is it? 1,000 into 100 into 12. That comes to 12 lakh rupees. So altogether, your earning is 31 lakh rupees, and the expenditure you see on the left side, that salary of head coach, salary of assistant coach, salary of housekeeper, then your light bill, maintenance, every month some or other maintenance comes in. Choke up ho gaya, leakage ho gaya, something happens. So you must have some budget for it. Municipal cess and water tax, then net, you need the data, that is net expenses, not network expenses. It is net expenses. Then traveling expenses, advertisement expenses. You boost your advertisement on your social media, on Google ad. For that, some budget is required. Then your audit fees, printing and stationery, rent expenditure is considered as 3,60,000 rupees. So interest on bank loan, that is 12%, is say somewhere around 90,000 rupees. Net profit is 16,58,250 rupees. This is such a beautiful business that you can earn handsomely in this business. I don't talk much about the balance sheet, because when you have income and expenditure account, you must see that how much amount of tax you will have to pay in case of proprietary. The proprietary slabs are like this in India. For 2,50,000 to 5 lakh profit, it's 5%. 5 lakh to 10 lakh, it is 20%. More than 10 lakhs, it is 30%. And education cess is 4%. So if you are earning good, you have to pay some tax as well. And here is the amount. So in partnership LLP, you will have to pay it like this. And in company, the tax rate is 25%. In partnership, it is 30%. But one thing is very important. If it is partnership or it is company, you have to pay your own tax at the same time. In proprietary, your withdrawals from that business can be, there is no double taxation. But in other firms like company or partnership, you will have to pay tax on your personal account as well. So individual taxation in the case of company, partnership, and LLP, it comes like this. In proprietary, business, you don't need this. So proprietary is to start with, proprietary is always better. You can see here the proprietorship. If you pay tax on the amount which you have earned in this way, it is only 2,75,574 rupees. But in partnership, it is 3,39,000. In company, it is 2,96,000. So in the proprietary, you save tax. This is very important. So this is the broad line which I have cleared. I have just 3-4 minutes to give some answers to your questions. So you can ask me some questions if you have. I could complete in time. I was worried about it. No questions. People are just keep thinking and thinking and thinking that, oh my goodness, such a huge amount of profit. We never believe this. But I tell you that this is very much possible. And I know people around me, those who are earning huge profits, more than 12 lakh, 15 lakh rupees a month. They have appointed people, they have generated employment. Yoga is a hot selling cake nowadays. So Vishwadeep Naik sir, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hello sir, good evening.
Yes, good evening.
So my question is that is there any government schemes and all for investment regarding the yoga classes setup?
See, in India, you have startup activities. So if you apply for a startup business, you get some kind of relaxation and some kind of grant in way of reduction in tax. So you can talk to your chartered accountant. You can ask them that if you apply for a startup unit of yoga coaching class, what kind of benefits you will be able to get, and he will answer you suitably. That is very much possible. But otherwise, there is no other special tax benefit or special GST benefit on yoga classes. You have to pay it. If you are doing
so actually
business of more than 20 lakh rupees a year, you have to pay GST.
So my question was regarding is there any scheme to invest for funding
Yeah,
for starting
you
investment?
can do the startup. Startup is a scheme from central government, and for startup businesses, central government of India is giving some concessions and some grant as well. So you can talk to your local chartered accountant and ask him that how the project report has to be done. But it is a time-taking process, and you have to be very patient to get that kind of funding.
Understood. Thank you.
So thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity. I thank Dr. Jaideep Pareji, who is constantly supporting us in different ways to take this Yogasana sport ahead. Our President Udit Sethji and our His Holiness Swami Ramdevji Maharaj, who is always blessing us and guiding us, and Dr. H.R. Nagendraji. So without mentioning their names, I cannot conclude my session. And thanks to Shreyasji and all the people, those who are working really very hard to make this event successful. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your very wonderful session. As it was one of the most important question and session which you have took over here, and hopefully this new aspirant will be benefited with your valuable guidance. So once again, we thank you very much, sir. So we have our next resource person over here.